Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here today to add to my natural remedies list so that you guys can have ways to look up some of these things for yourself by me compiling some information about specific ailments and so on into separate videos. And so today it's about diabetes, mostly focused on those with type 2 diabetes, but some of this stuff can also be good for those with type 1 diabetes. That does not mean the information I'm going to give you is going to cure you and you won't ever have to take insulin again. But you may be able to at least lower your dependency on insulin and other types of medications that are given for this disease. Now, before I continue, let me make sure everybody understands I am not a doctor. I do not have a license in any kind of medicine, be it natural or otherwise. I am just one that has been studying natural things like this, ways to cure the body, for at least a good 35-40 years. But most of it I've learned in the past 10 to 15 years as I was able to start pouring more time into these studies. So the first thing I'm going to do is list off some foods and herbs that can really help with your body, whether it be increasing its sensitivity to insulin or to help lower your blood sugar levels. So let me get started. Now, one of these things would be apple cider vinegar. Now, personally, what I believe is any good homemade organic vinegar will do, whether it be you make it out of peaches, pears, whatever it is. Just a good healthy vinegar is what we're looking at. And a couple ways this can be done is taking a couple of tablespoons before you go to bed at night. That will help with your blood sugar levels in the morning, the next morning when you wake up, or to take it just before you eat a meal, 1 to 2 tablespoons at a time. I know for a lot of people taking vinegar like that can be very difficult to do. You can try mixing it with water and seeing if that makes it easier for you to take, but then you sometimes can prolong the agony if you really hate the taste. So just figure out what's the best way to use it as far as that goes. But one of the reasons I like to put these kinds of somewhat comprehensive lists together is so that you can find what works best for you. Doesn't mean you have to use all these things, but you might find that either you can easily grow these things, or what works good for one person doesn't work for you, and vice versa. So that's why I like to put these lists together. But this next one, fiber, we should all be getting, no matter where we are, we should all be getting fiber from good healthy sources. So whether it be fruit or a vegetable or a grain or even legumes, specifically though for diabetes, barley is one of the best sources in helping with your blood sugar levels. But of course, if you're trying to go more grain free, you might want to look at some of these other things, specifically like finding vegetables that are higher in fiber. And then this is one that a lot of people are not going to like, but it was one that everywhere I looked, it kept coming up with this one, and that is aloe vera gel. I'm not talking about the aloe vera gel you go buy down at the store in the medicinal aisle for sunburns. I'm talking about real aloe vera gel, specifically from the plant itself. And taking that, whether it be by the spoonful or finding a way to mix it in with a smoothie. It can be very bitter though, so it might not be pleasant. You might want to actually look at buying some pre-made capsules of the aloe vera gel. That might be better for you. Or if you're growing an aloe vera plant, you might be able to encapsulate it yourself. I'm not sure how well that would work, but you could try and see if that works. You might be able to save some money. And by the way, aloe vera is a good air cleaning plant. It's one of the top. All plants will clean the air, but aloe vera is one of the top at detoxifying the air around you. So having an aloe vera plant or two in your home is a really good thing. I have several of them myself. So here are some more herbs that you can look into for yourself. Golden seal, barberry, cinnamon, fenugreek. That one was another one that was right up at the top with cinnamon. Some of the best things to help with diabetes. Coreopsis, I've mentioned this before. I've actually done videos on some of these things where I did one on cinnamon, I did one on coreopsis. Another one would be bitter melon, which by the way, I'll be putting a written list down below in the description box and or in a pinned comment at the top of the comment section. So that way you can copy paste it and then look up the individual stuff yourself so you don't have to write all this stuff down. Some other ones would be milk thistle. Another very popular one is one I'd never heard of called gymnema. And that one, that name, I believe it comes from India, and it means sugar destroyer, if I understand correctly. So that should tell you a lot right there, and it helping with your blood sugar levels. And I believe that was one that was also recommended for both types of diabetes. Another one of my very favorites that I also have a video on is ginger. And then there's ginseng, moringa, excellent herb. I don't grow it myself, but a lot of people can grow it simple enough, or you can stock up on it in a powder. It's good for so many things, as are most of these herbs. Garlic, of course, garlic is great. Nettle, as in Urtica dioica or stinging nettle, which I grow and use. I started growing it actually for our thyroid health. I have a video on that as well. In fact, what I'll do, instead of linking to those individual ones, I'll just put the link to the playlist of all the different herbs I've covered so far, and I still have a good amount yet to do. So there are profiles on the individual herbs, and I talk about their many benefits. Okay, a few more. Couple of these surprised me. Mango leaves, curry leaves. Now these are things that would be good to use in making teas. Pretty much any of these herbs would be good for adding into teas. But if you look up the individual ones, you could find out probably more ways it would be best for you to use them. Psyllium, which is a type of fiber that, you're back in the fiber again, but this one in particular, the seeds of the plantain plant, I did a video on that, are high in psyllium. So if you're already growing plantain, which should grow good for pretty much everyone, it has so many wonderful benefits that I recommend you check out that video and also read the comments down below that, and so many great testimonials on that. Anyway, those seeds are high in the psyllium and can be helpful for very many things, including helping with diabetes. And then a couple more would be flaxseed and neem. So neem is very bitter. You can actually buy neem powder by the bag, and it also has several uses. You can use it for to help prevent fleas and other things in your pets or in their bedding. And but it's very bitter. The taste is horrible. So that's going to be one of those that, if you watch my video I did on making your own supplements and how to encapsulate them, that would be one you'd probably want to encapsulate if you're looking at taking the neem to help with diabetes or any other health conditions. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about some nutrients that even though I always stress trying to do your best to get nutrients from your foods, when it comes to trying to help with specific ailments like diabetes or thyroid health or whatever it is, then sometimes it's really good to go ahead and add some supplements to that. Remember, they're called supplements for a reason. You should still be eating these good healthy foods, but if you're needing that extra boost of different vitamins and minerals, then it can be a really good idea. As long as you're getting good quality supplements or making your own, they should be capsule form always. But anyway, we're looking at chromium, which is you can find in brewer's yeast, by the way, zinc, and magnesium. Those are the three at the top of the list. For not that all these other nutrients aren't great, you want to get your B's and all these others as well, and D3 and so on, but as far as specifically for diabetes, these are the three right at the top of the list. And then of course there's the common four that you're going to hear no matter what the ailment is getting good quality sleep, plenty of exercise, drinking plenty of healthy water. Be careful of the city tap water, especially if it's fluoridated. Get yourself a good filter that's going to remove the fluoride and the chlorine. Or if you don't have fluoride in your water, and you have city water, then you might want to at least boil it or find other ways to dechlorinate it. Or you might be one that might want to consider doing what we did many years ago, and that is starting a rainwater collection, and that's the only water we'll ingest. Even though they finally removed the fluoride from the city water here after 50-something years, it still has other things in it, other chemicals in the water that is best to stay away from. So we filter, we collect the rainwater, we filter it, and that really is what helped us heal our thyroids to be able to get off the medication. And then here's the great one. Another one that everyone should be doing is getting as much sunlight as possible. We've been taught to fear the sun when we need the sun. We need that vitamin D3. Sun is important. So we should not be fearing it, and we certainly should not be slathering a bunch of chemical stuff on our skin that absorbs into our bloodstream to be all scared about getting skin cancer. It's just a matter of, if you're pale, watch the amount of exposure you're getting and look into more natural things to at least reduce your risk of sunburns. And a few years ago, I did do a video on natural sun protection, but you also have to know a lot of this happens from the inside out. It's not so much just what you put on your skin. It's about the healthy nutrients that you're consuming that will help prevent burns and skin cancer and so on. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and at least you can use it as a jumping point. Again, I'll try to remember to get the written list put down below. If for some reason I forget, just remind me and I'll get it in there as soon as I can. That way it'll make it easy on you so you don't have to write all this stuff down, and then you can also see the spelling of each one and then know exactly what it is you want to look at. Again, you might not be able to cure yourself, but you might, especially if you're type 2 diabetes. If you follow this stuff, you might be able to get away from the medication entirely, but if nothing else, you should be able to lower your dependency on it. Okay, well, don't forget to also check out my playlist on both the herb profiles and my playlist on the natural remedies lists that I'll be putting in the description box down below. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.